morning everybody. Today we are going to learn English text, new chapter, that is chapter number 6, Robinson Crusoe. He discovered a footprint, that we are going to learn. Robinson Crusoe's ship had been destroyed by the sea. He had been alone for many years and longed for company. One day he discovered a footprint on the sand. Let's find out what he did then. This is the story and we have to find out what is the story. One day when I was going towards my boat, I was surprised to see the footprint of a man on the sand. I stood amazed. I listened. I looked around me. I could neither hear nor see anything. I went up higher to look down. I went up the shore and down the shore, but it was no good. I could find no other footprint but that one. I went to it again to see if there were any more footprints and to tell if it had been my imagination. But I was not mistaken, for there was exactly the print of a foot. Toes, heels, every part of a foot. I could not imagine how it came there. Robinson one day gone to the beach where he found a footprint, and that he was shocked to see that footprint. He was alone on the beach. He was alone staying there, so he thought whose footprint was it. I stayed a long time thinking, but came more and more confused. Robinson was confused to see the footprint over there. At last, I returned home very frightened, looking behind me after every 2 or 3 steps, mistaking every bush and tree to be a man. He was so frightened that he was looking back, and for every 2 and 3 steps he was looking back, that there was somebody who is following me. When I came to my cave, which I called my caste, I ran inside it as if I was being chased. I do not remember whether I used the ladder or went in by the hole in the rock, which I called the door. I ran for cover faster than any animal could run. He was so afraid that he went to his cave, but he did not remember how he get in. He gone by the ladder or he gone by the hole. That was where he was staying. And I did not sleep at night. The more I thought about that what I had seen, the more afraid I became. I thought it could be one of the savage of the mainland who had wandered out to the sea in a small boat. He was afraid that any jungle person has came over here, that he was so afraid. At night he could not able to sleep. Luckily I was not on shore at that time. But what if he had seen my boat? If he had seen the boat, he would have realized that someone lived on the island and would soon return with others to kill and eat me. He was so afraid that he could not sleep at that night, and he was so lucky that he himself saying that I was lucky that I am not at that time in the shore. And so I lay fearful for many days and prayed for protection. In doing so, I was much comfortable and began going out to investigate. But even now, as I went forward. I looked behind me frequently because I was still very frightened. After a long time also, he was so afraid that he was not able to sleep properly at night, and he was always looking back to see that somebody is following him. However, as I went about for 2 or 3 days and saw nothing, I became a little bolder. I decided to go down to the shore again and imagine the footprints once more. I decided to measure it with my own footmark. He was so afraid that after 2 to 3 days he became some guts and he became bold. And he again go to the shore and to see that his footprint, and he measured that footprint with his own footprint. As I came closer to the footprints, I realized that it could not be my footprint because I had not come to this part of the beach since a long time. Secondly, as I placed my feet alongside my footprint, it seemed larger than my own. My fear returned. I went home again, believing that there was someone there. The island was inhabited. He was so afraid that he was there for a long time, and he alone stayed there, and he was so frightened that the beach was alone and nobody was there, but he was still there. My fear returned and he was still in the fear. Now the chapter has been completed. Now we are going to write the hard words of this chapter. After that, we will continue. This is the hard words, some of the hard words which I have written. Surprised, amazed, neither, sure, mistaken, imagination, exactly, confused, frightened, ladder, protection, comforted, frequently, examine, wonder. Write down, all the children write down this in your notebook, and tomorrow we will continue. Thank you.